So I'm gonna get straight to the point. If you're watching this, I assume that you want to know what the high rep method is and how it works. So let's start off with what is it first. So it's a training system that allows you to train at home for less than 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes a day max. In some extreme cases, even less than 15 minutes. It needs minimal equipment since we're going to be doing basic bodyweight exercises. So I'll recommend the pull-up bar and dip bars. And the workouts are short with high intensity. And one key thing also is that you don't track your meals. So the video is going to be split into two parts. The training side and the nutrition side. We're going to start with training first. So to achieve this transformation, I surprisingly only did 4 exercises: dips, push-ups, pull-ups, and inverted rows. And believe me or not, that's all you need, because all these exercises basically cover every single muscle in your entire upper body. So we have dips and push-ups for your shoulders, triceps, and chest. Then we have pull-ups for your lats and biceps and forearms. Then we have inverted row also for your biceps, forearms, and your upper back. So these exercises are basically all you need. The only thing you need to do is get as strong as possible on them. So what training systems did I actually use to get as strong as possible? So I did 10-minute EMOMs. If you don't know what an EMOM is, it's basically every minute on a minute. So you set up in my case, a 10-minute timer on your phone, and at the start of every new minute, your timer beeps. And that's exactly when you do your designated number of reps. After you finish your reps, you have time to rest until the next minute starts. Now, how to figure out your number is also quite simple. You take your max reps at the exercise that I showed, so these ones, dips, push-ups, pull-ups, inverted rows, and you divide them by 3. That's how many reps you're gonna start out on the 10-minute EMOM. Now, keep in mind, this is just for a 10-minute EMOM. If you want to do a different one, you're gonna have to divide for a different number. But this is the ones I use. I personally find the 10-minute EMOM to be the most practical, since the system takes very little time that way, and you also don't have to do like 30 reps when you would do a 5-minute EMOM or whatever. So, how did I actually progress? Like I said, the numbers that I picked at the start were just my starting numbers. So I'll give you an example really quick. Let's say you can do 30 push-ups. So you start at a 10-minute EMOM. The EMOM is hard, but you kind of manage to do it, blah blah blah. You do it first for like 2 weeks, and then you notice that it gets too easy, and that's exactly when you add 1 rep per minute. Once you make your EMOM and it feels too easy, add 1 rep per minute. So you go from 10 times 10 to 11 times 10. Or no, 10 times 11. 10 times 11 EMOM, exactly. So you do 11 reps on the minute instead of 10 reps on the minute. Now, the chance that you're going to fail is very high. If I failed, I simply noted down the round or the minute which I failed at, and next session I try to beat it. And that's exactly how you progress. When you fail, for example, at round 6, next session you want to fail at round 7 until you make the EMOM. Once you make the EMOM, do it 2 more times. Once it gets too easy, add 1 rep, and the cycle continues. So, also important, how did I split my training in order for me to just do 25 minutes a day and not do anything else? So, on one day I did dips and push-ups, so this is my push day basically, and the other day I did pull-ups and inverted rows, my pull day. So I had a push day and a pull day. Pull day was on Tuesday and on Friday, and push day was on Monday and on Thursday. So I did a 10-minute EMOM for both these exercises. I rested 3 minutes in between them, and I warmed up 2 minutes before the first EMOM. So the training took me only 25 minutes, including the warm-up and the rest. So trust me, even if you're the most busy person, wake up 30 minutes early before work, 4 days a week, and trust me, you can build a body like mine. So like I said, I repeated these days twice a week. Monday, Thursday, Wednesday was rest day, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was rest, and then I did Thursday and Friday again, 25 minutes. So that would be 100 minutes a week. It does not matter how busy you are, trust me, if you want a body like this, you will find 100 minutes a week to work out. It's really not that difficult. So that's it for the training side. I didn't complicate much, focused on the basic exercises, progressed them with the EMOM system, and yeah, let's move on to nutrition. So The first thing you want to do is you want to figure out whether you want to lose fat or gain muscle. Preferably you want to do both at the same time. However, if you're already skinny, losing fat should not even be a question for you at all. So if you want to lose fat and build muscle, preferably build muscle at the same time, you want to go into a caloric deficit of 200 to 300. For muscle gain, or if you either eat at, like if you're a skinny guy and you want to gain some muscle, either eat at maintenance, or what I would recommend is a slight surplus of about 100 calories. It's very important to figure out this goal first, since you're going to need it for the next step. So the next step is very simply calculating and making your meals. So, how to not track calories and still hit your protein intake and not worry about getting fat. So the key are to have repeatable meals. Essentially, I made 5 meals for myself and for my clients, and I rotate all the time. If you eat 3 meals a day, for example, you take your calories that you need and divide them by 3, but we're going to do that in an example later. So the meals are pre-tracked with the calories and protein intake. So that means that you don't need to put anything in your app or whatever. You already know what to make, how to make it, and you won't be distracted by constantly putting things in an app and thinking about how many grams of protein each meal has and whatever. On your rest day, you will burn less calories, so technically you could just remove some carbs from the meal, but it's not. Or you could do that, or you can just take the average burn of the 7 days and just calculate your daily intake on that, but this doesn't really matter so much. In general, you also want to make sure that when you make your meals, you want the meals to have the same amount of protein, since then you don't need to think about what combinations of meals I need to hit my certain protein intake. But I'm going to make this easy for you, and I'm going to give you a quick example from one of my clients. So his maintenance was 2,150 or about 2,100. So I gave him 1,950 calories. So we made 6 meals. I gave him 6 meals with 650 calories each and 35 grams of protein. That way his protein synthesis was constant throughout the day. His calories for the meals were the same for every meal, so he was satiated all the time. He had way less decision fatigue. He knew exactly what he needed to buy at the store and what to make at home. And he didn't have to concern himself with writing things down in an app and tracking your protein intake and worrying about whether I went over my calories today or whatnot, simply because each meal was the same amount of calories. They all were different in their unique ways with their carb sources, protein sources, etc. But he didn't need to track anything. So that's pretty much it for the nutrition side. To summarize it, look how many calories and how much protein you need. Divide that through the amount of meals that you're gonna have a day, and yeah, simply make some meals that you like, that you can rotate all the time. And it's very important that you stay consistent at it. So if you feel ready to start your transformation and you want to achieve a physique like this without tracking calories and while training at home, check the link below in the description and book in a call with me. Just to let you know, I'm taking on 5 guys for coaching this month. The first 3 to sign up will get a $500 discount. So book a call with me in the description.